Hi everyone. Today I'm going to take you through how to start the engines on your VSL DC-3 if you're using my Persistence plugin. So let's get started. We'll be starting the right engine only today. Mixture goes to full rich and the throttle goes up by about 10%. So it's around there. Don't be tempted to give it more throttle, it'll be harder to start. Magnetos are on. And here we go. Alright, the first thing to keep in mind is that when you start this engine, you have to prime it. You have to prime it for about 4 seconds before you start, and then you have to occasionally give it a prime after it starts if the RPMs begin to drop. Now this is only when the engine is cold. Once the engine is warm, you don't need to prime it anymore. Let's get started. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's primed. Now we're going to turn the engine until it catches. Once it catches, it will splatter for a while, then it will pick up speed. After it's run fast for a little while, it will begin to slow down. And then we prime it just a little bit more until it picks up speed again. There we go, the engine is started. I've paused the simulator. There's a couple of things I want to talk about. The first thing is this engine is cold, so it's not going to idle at the full 900 RPM. It's going to idle at about 600 to 700 until it warms up. Warming up happens when the oil temperature is above 50 degrees Celsius and the cylinder head temperature is above 100 degrees Celsius. The first thing we need to do is to bring the mixture back to a lean setting. That will help it warm up and it will stop the spark plugs from getting fouled. Let's do that now. Keep your eye on the RPM. While the engine is cold, we can't bring it above 1000 RPM. I'm going to grab the throttle and slowly bring it up to get the engine to 1000 RPM. It's just warmed itself up a little bit more and it's jumped up to about 800. As the engine gets warmer, I'll bring the throttle back slowly to keep it below 1000 RPM. And there we go, the engine is almost warm now. You can see the oil temperature is at about 40 degrees and the cylinder head temperature is slowly warming up. So if we turn this engine off now, we'll have to prime it again to restart it. And we are back. Okay, I've been idling this engine for a little while. It's warmed up. You can see the throttle is all the way down and it's idling at 900 RPM. The oil pressure is well above 50 and the cylinder head temperature is as well. So this is a fully warmed engine. We're going to turn it off and I'm going to show you how easy it is to restart once it's warmed up. There you go, no priming needed, easy restart. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is what the engines look like when they start when you're only looking at the gauges. So we're going to start up the left engine. I'll take you through that process. We'll prime for 4 seconds. 1, 3, 4. And next we're going to start cranking the engine. I want you to keep your eye on the RPM gauge and the oil pressure gauge. The oil pressure will climb to almost 40 as I crank the engine, and when the engine catches, it will go above 40. I'm not going to prime this engine after it started for the first time, and you'll see how the RPM will climb up, and as the effect of the primer is lost, it will drop back down again and probably stop. Let's go. That's what happens when you don't prime the engine again once it's started. So let's reset. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this time after it starts, I'm going to continue to give it a little bit of priming to keep it running until it can run by itself. That took a while, and it didn't start. And here's the problem. I didn't move the throttle up. Let's bring it up to 10%. And we'll do it all over again. There we go. Again, once the engine is started, we'll bring the mixture down to a lean setting and adjust the throttle to get close to 1000 RPM. So now you know how to start the engines. Remember, set your throttle to 10%, prime for 4 seconds, crank the engine until it catches, and once it's running, continue to give it short bursts of prime until it can idle by itself. You'll find the links to the VSL DC-3 and my Persistence plugin in the show notes below. See you next time.